She timed that to perfection. We'll see her tonight in the 200 IM. Coming back to the 400 free. We have 4 heats, 5 in this one. Rebecca Adams from Ren 96 in 1, Hannah McClelland, Cumbernauld in 2, Jodie Pyman, Peebles in 4, Phoebe Kitchen, Mulgine Bearsden in 5, and Katie Steele, Dundee City Aquatics in lane 6, no swimmer going in 7. These girls are in just over the 5-minute mark, so they'll all be keen to get under that. Coming back to what we were on about 15 metres, getting beyond that 15 metres, rules obviously changed, as you say, in the late 80s. All the swimmers, if they are diving or coming off backstroke, must submerge before that red line that you see 15 metres up the pool. If they don't submerge, then I'm afraid they get disqualified. The exception being breaststroke. You can dive, do your pull, and if you manage to do 45 metres, it's highly unusual, but some of the swimmers might get about 17 to 20 metres or so beyond the start before they surface. As long as they do everything legal on breaststroke, it doesn't matter, they can go beyond the 15 metre mark. But on freestyle, backstroke and on butterfly, the head must surface before that 15 metre mark, Paul.
So on breaststroke, just one kick and one pull underwater?
One kick, one pull, and when they are coming, the head is coming up to the surface, the head must break the surface before the second stroke at the widest point. So yes, you start your second stroke, but the arms mustn't go beyond the widest stroke before that head surfaced. Otherwise, that's also disqualification, Paul.
And I suppose these rules have developed over the years because swimmers and coaches always trying to get that little bit of an advantage. We spoke about staying under the water before, people realising, oh yeah, it's within the rules, I can stay under the water here and that's going to be a little bit faster. In fact, I remember reading way back in history about the evolution of the butterfly stroke, that the rules for the breaststroke way back maybe in about the 1930s, 1940s, said that the arms had to come over simultaneously, so people started doing butterfly in the breaststroke events, and that was within the rules because the arms were coming over simultaneously and it was classed as breaststroke, and that's how the butterfly stroke came into being.
And that's probably is why in Masters swimming, Paul, you are allowed to do breaststroke kick in Masters. That's the exception. In open events, if you do breaststroke kick in butterfly, I'm afraid it's a disqualification because the legs must be going up and down in the same horizontal plane.
Well, there's no Masters in this one. It's all freestyle at the moment. They're going over for the 300 mark. And in lane number 2, it's Rebecca Adams, 341. At that 300 mark, and she is stretching away. Diagonal line can draw between the top 3 swimmers there. Lane number 4, Jodie Pyman. And in lane number 6, Katie Steele, Dundee City Aquatics. We're going into the last turn now, Robert. It's
Rebecca will want to be sub 420 if she can to give her a chance. Yeah, she's 418. Jodie Pyman 420. So both these girls will just want to dig in, kick hard. Something round about a 38, 39 second last 50 to get inside that magic 5-minute mark. For some of these young girls, it's psychological. Once you break that 5-minute mark, sometimes the time just drops and drops. But it's getting over that 5-minute hurdle, and I think both these girls are going to do it. Super swims from both of them. Rebecca Adams coming in 450, 481. Jodie Pyman 4:57.29. Significant improvements in their times there. Katie Steele 5:03.49, just a fraction slower than her entry time, but nevertheless good swim from her to get third. We've seen some significant improvements this afternoon so far.
Well, Adams taking that one for 54.81. Pyman in second, Katie Steele in third position. Move on to the next heat. Looks like we have quite a few empty lanes, I think, Robert.
Yes, looks like the middle lanes, so we'll have our work cut out possibly in the outside lanes. But only 4 going this one. It's kind of been decimated, heat 2. So we only have Ailey Lister Carnegie in 1, Sarah Frizzell Gala in lane 3, no swimmer in 2, no swimmer in 4, 5 and 6. And over on the far side, Mia Payne from Warnder and Lucy Bryce in Finns in 7 and 8. Sarah Frizzell 32.70, she's the early leader. Sarah's been pretty good on breaststroke. She is the East District Junior Champion on 2 of those events. She's actually made the B final this evening, so I think she might only be the only participant in that one. If that's the case, she'll also be junior champion. So already 50 and 100 breaststroke. She's also in the 200 breaststroke. I think she's actually up against Heart of Midlothian's Ellie Riley. Without me looking at what we've got the programme for this evening, Ellie Riley was actually a year younger, and Ellie Riley the winner at national age groups. She was 2 or 3 seconds behind Sarah, but it'll be an interesting B final to see who's going to be junior champion. But Sarah Frizzell doing pretty well on freestyle, Paul, leading the field by some 3 or 4 metres at the 150 metre mark.
Yeah, 147.80. That lead of a couple of seconds, 3 seconds in fact, from Lucy Bryce and Ailey Lister in the lane closest to us on the right hand side of your screen there. Just about managing to fit all the 4 swimmers in there. We were talking last night about the dominance in the junior events and the junior titles, East District junior titles by the Edinburgh clubs, but this young lady has upset the Edinburgh club's dominance of this one in the breaststroke.
She certainly has. Both Warner and Hearts have been fairly prominent both in the boys and the girls. We've had the odd swimmer from Swim West Lothian in the boys events. Also Inverleith have some promising young boys coming through, and I think they took the junior medley title the other night, so good to see clubs out with Edinburgh taking part and actually getting some medals, Paul. So nice to see.
Yeah, the Borders team has been pretty good. Well, they're all swimming as separate clubs at this East District Open. Of course, the Borders team very often they get together.
Yeah, they're known as BEST, which is Borders Elite Swim Team. So they've had probably a couple of lean years, but they're beginning just to get a good group of young swimmers together again. We had Lucy Hope, who was a member of BEST some years ago, and as we saw last night, Paul, Lucy Hope actually equalled the Scottish record in a 50 backstroke, 27.47. That record jointly held now with Kathleen Dawson, no less.
Yeah, very good swim yesterday from Lucy Hope last night. I think it's the only Scottish record that we have seen at these championships. Well, having said that, we did have a swim this morning by Danielle Joyce, who was one of the deaf swimmers, We're looking for confirmation of that. Danielle Joyce, the world record holder in deaf swimming, and we think she may have bettered her own world record this morning. We'll bring you confirmation of that. She'll be on again tonight, so watch out on the live stream for that one in the women's 100 backstroke this evening. See the world record holder in action, Danielle Joyce, the deaf swimmer from University of Stirling.
Yeah, 106.35 I think is the record, Paul, and I think you called it right, 106.27, 800s faster. Have a good swim here, Sarah Frizzell. She's going to take this very comfortably, 4:58.47, 4:54.67, good improvement in that time there. Over on the far side, Lucy Bryce from Finns, 5:00.72 taking second. Mia Payne from Warner coming in now to take third. And very close behind her, Yuri Lister in fourth. Also just back on best, Ryan Brown, who won the 200 butterfly. Ryan also used to swim down at Kelso. So, you know, those best are maybe not doing as well a year or two back as they have done at the beginning, as I say, to bring through some good young swimmers. They've developed some cracking swimmers who are now performing at a very high level, so good to see that happening, and Sarah Frizzell taking that second heat.
I think Borders have had a good bunch of swimmers in the past as well. I'm sure Ewan Dale, who was an Olympic swimmer, was originally down in the Borders many years ago. I remember when I was just about hanging on as a swimmer that Ewan Dale was a young lad coming through. I'm sure the likes of Ben Hickson as well, who's now a top coach, alongside Ewan Dale, also a Border swimmer back in the day. We are on to the next heat though. This is the heat number 3 for the women's 400 freestyle. And lots of swimmers missing in the previous heat, but we have a full lineup this time. Anna Mackay from Warrender in lane number 1. Paria Vaisi from City of Glasgow in 2. Erica Chupek from Kelso, another Border swimmer, in lane number 3. Lily Jane Haggerty, City of Glasgow, in lane 4. Sophie Cameron from South Ayrshire in lane 5. Lauren Rice from Dumfries in lane 6. Ellie Palmer from First in lane number 7, and Jodie Finlay from Midlothian in lane number 8. Well, remember, send your tweets in. It is hashtag EDOpen16. Let us know where you are watching the action from. And we've had one from Sandra Ono, watching the live stream from the garden in the sun. Sounds good to me. Some good swimming action and some sunshine to boot.
Oh, lovely. I'm sure we'd love to be enjoying that with you, Sandra. And there we are. I'm sure it's just a wee glass of juice you're watching us with. And good luck to Team Swim West Lothian. Certainly they've had some good performances. Gulsum swimming very, very well. She was on the podium earlier in the week, 3rd place. I think her exertions in one of the events last night, I know that she spoke to my daughter and said that she'd just gone in. She'd absolutely shattered and took part and finished a fairly distant 8th, but she'd been swimming well. I think that was probably just one race too far for her last night. But we'll see her this evening. I'm sure she'll be doing pretty well this evening.
Well, leading them through there. They've just gone past halfway. Lily Jane Haggerty in those yellow lane markers, marks off the first of the middle lanes, lane 4. And City of Glasgow swimmer will lead them through 250. Erica Chopek from Kelso, putting a little bit of pressure on, not much in it at all. Just a quarter of a second or so between the two. And in 3rd place, Paria Vaisi, clear in 3rd, ahead of 3 swimmers all in a row on the far side of the pool. But it is a very close contest here for first and second, Robert, and hopefully these two can push each other through to good times. The entry times for both of the two leaders is 4:54, so they have to come back in something like a 1:16 or below to get inside that entry time, and they should be capable of doing that.
They may well be. There's a good battle going on. Good to have two swimmers fighting it out together. They'll push one another on. It's the Kelso Bay swimmer, Elika Chopek, just beginning to get the upper hand here with just about 50 to go. There's next to nothing between it. Will she get a better turn? She just got a slightly better turn there and probably increased that to almost a metre. Working very, very hard down this final 50, and she is making for home with just under 20 to go. It's Kelso swimmer Elika Chopek who's going to take this. Lily Jane Haggerty probably will just have to settle for second, but she's fighting back hard. Going to be fairly close to the 450 mark. Good improvement by Elika. Lily Jane also good improvement in her time. Third over on the far side. Lauren Rice takes third in 4:56.53. Another good swimmer from the borders, Elika Chopek, 4:51.17. Almost 4 seconds faster than entry time there, Paul. So borders doubling up again.
Yeah, she certainly looked like she was on course for a good swim. And she finished very well, faster than Lily Jane Haggerty. Just had a little bit too much strength there in the closing stages for the City of Glasgow swimmer. Good to see a good improvement there in that 400 freestyle. And you've got the second of the Vizies going in this one. Joanna Ray from Carnegie goes in lane number 1. Sophie Moreland in 2 from Swim West Lothian. She'll be supported by the O'Neills in the garden. Marmis Vizi, City of Glasgow in lane number 3. Claire Thompson from Finns in lane number 4. Katie Golder from Midlothian in lane number 5. Hannah Young from South Ayrshire in lane number 6. And Katie Goodburn from Warrender alongside her Warrender teammate Nicole McFarlane in 7 and 8. Again, a full 8 swimmers in this one. It's strange that we had a full 8 swimmers in all the heats bar 1, and there was 4 missing in the one heat.
Quite unusual, yeah. That's the final heat. This is the last chance saloon, I suppose, for any of these girls to get into the final, which is just an A final. Interesting, Katie Golder, she's gone out fairly fast here. It's interesting to see if she can just keep this going. Her entry time 4:49.79. Event that Katie probably doesn't do very often. Katie was 4th at the East Districts way back in October, so perhaps this is an adjusted short course conversion to long course. But she's been swimming pretty well this last few months. Very consistent in most of her swims at national age groups. And she holds an early lead, 1:43.80 at the 150 mark. I don't think that's fast enough to put any real challenge into the 4:35.60, which she would have to do to get a reserve swim. But she looks fairly comfortable so far, Paul. Good 1.5 meters, 2 meters ahead. Also in there, Joanna Ray from Carnegie in the near side. She's probably in second place.
Yeah, coming up to the halfway point. Just keep an eye on the time here. Around about 2:20, 2:20.43 for the leader, Katie Golder. Hannah Young is just getting into second position ahead of Joanna Ray on the left hand side there, down at the bottom. And you said, Robert, a tough ask here. Similarly to the men's 400 individual medley. There is only an A final in this women's 400 freestyle, so they have to aim for those A times, which are significantly faster than what would have been the B final, obviously. 4:35.60 is the time for the first reserve for that final, and that is going to be a tough ask for Katie Goulder. Well, she is swimming well. Her immediate target, I'm sure, is to be faster than 4:49.79, which is her entry time. Claire Thompson from Finns was the fastest entry time. She's down in around about 4th position, but coming through strongly. So she was swimming 1500 freestyle a few weeks ago, Claire Thompson. So we'll know she'll have the stamina at the end of this 400. So just wonder if she has the speed to catch up any of the swimmers in front of her. She's not going to catch Katie Goulder in lane number 5. And Hannah Young also going well in lane number 6. They are now pulling away in 1st and 2nd position. And Claire Thompson now challenging Joanna Ray for that 3rd spot.
Certainly for a lot of these swimmers, it's practice over the longer distances, the 400, 800, and in some cases the girls occasionally do 1500 up in Scotland. So it's fairly new territory for Katie Goulder to be doing these. Katie Smith, older swimmer in the same age group, she actually did a 4:37.47. Katie Smith was in it at 4:35, and Katie Moore on the 100 and 200s, similar to Katie Goulder, but Katie Goulder's holding us pretty well together. Okay, it's not anywhere near the 4:35 that we require, but given that there's 32 swimmers trying to get into the top 8, 4:45.89 is a significant improvement on her time of 4:49.53. Hannah Young, good swim from her also, 4:51.29, coming in second in 4:48.25, and Joanna Ray 4:51.25, also inside her entry time. So okay, the times might not on paper challenge for finals, but still pretty impressive swims by these ladies.
Absolutely, they will be delighted to get inside their entry times, and